Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and this is a game from 1972, and this is a game played in USSR Championship, and this is one that you're definitely going to enjoy. This is a game played between Tal and Shamkovich, and this game is just a perfect example of when you make just the slightest of inaccuracy against a player of Tal's caliber, how it can have devastating consequences. So I'm not going to keep you waiting for long, so without further ado, let's start with this game. Tal starts with e4, we have c6 by Shamkovich going for the Karo-Khan defense, and we have d4, d5, and we have knight to c3, but going for the exchange variation, we have 3 captures. And we have just knight captures, recapturing, and just knight to d7. And we have knight to f3, but just knight to f6, and we have knight to c3, not trading more pieces early on. Definitely you want to have those pieces for the attack, and we have e6, just trying to develop that bishop, and we have bishop to d3, but just c5. And here Tal goes for queen to e2, maybe hinting at an early queenside castle and going for a very nice attack, but just c captures, not bothered. And we have knight caps on d4, but just bishop to c5. And here Tal goes for knight to b3, just attacking that very nice bishop. And here the best move in this position is the one that you would normally have to play, which is just this castles. And you have to castle your king early on. Definitely, if you give Tal just the slightest of inaccuracy, if you keep the king in your center, it can definitely have insane consequences. And here, after bishop to d2, you'll just play this b6 and develop that bishop, queen to that bishop, and after queenside castle, yes, it seems scary because those pawns are going to march forward as you see in Sicilian. And here, maybe after move like bishop to b7, now you play this rook to f1. And after bishop to b4, you don't want to capture that pawn. If you capture that pawn, you just the rook moves, and then you're going to move the bishop back, and then you'll see that this file is opened up, and Tal will easily be able to attack your king. So instead of all of that, just bishop to b4, and here you can go for a nice prophylactic move with king to b1, or go for an even nice attack with this f4. So if you go for this f4, then just knight to d5, and then you can see that there's immense pressure on this pawn, and the rook is going to join the party, and here queen is going to join as well, and you're going to have very nice pressure along this. Black would have something to play against, and that would definitely be a better choice, but instead, not wanting to give up the bishop pair early on, Shamkovich decides to play this bishop to d6, but this is just an ugly structure. You can see that the bishop and queen are not lining nicely, and this bishop will have trouble developing, and you have not even castled early on. Definitely an easy position for Tal, and Tal is definitely going to take advantage of this. So first Tal starts with this bishop to g5, just spinning that knight, and we have just a6. And here again, just wasting a tempo with this a6 move, you could go for this early b6 and just queen to that bishop, but instead of not developing, not even casting, you go for this a6, and you definitely don't want to do this against Tal. And here Tal goes for this queenside castle. And Tal has a spectacular position. He has castled early on, the bishops are already developed, and black is mostly going to castle kingside, and this bishop are already looking very scary. This queen is going to jump in, these pawns are going to push forward. It's looking very scary. And here queen to c7 was played, but just this king to b1, a nice prophylactic move before the storm. And we have this castles, but now comes knight to e4, just ready for that attack. And we have bishop to e5, and this bishop to e5 move just further adds on to Tal's advantage. And can you spot the tactic that gives you further advantage? So I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try to find a move that gives you an immense attacking chances while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations on everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is actually the spectacular f4. Yes, sacrificing the pawn, because that pawn definitely can be captured, but you don't want to capture that pawn, because if you go for this bishop caps on f4 that was played in the game, now not capturing that bishop, not trading more pieces and getting the rook into the game, but first you have this very nice knight caps on f6 with a check, because after knight captures, you give up the bishop pair with this bishop captures, and after g captures, you have a very nice open file to attack the black king. So here queen to g4 check was played by Tal, but just king to h8. And now you definitely see the problem. This bishop is already eyeing all the way here. Queen is here, your g file is open, king is already on h8, and it's just move 18. So here Tal just goes for rook to f1, just getting that rook into the game. And here, once again, only one move that saves the game or give you some chances to have something in the future, which is this e5. Not only protecting the bishop, but also eyeing this very nice queen. And here, it's not a difficult move to spot, but when you're facing such an attack, it's very difficult to find the accurate moves at the right time. And here, queen to h5, just going for that mate, and you have to go for this f5 now. And here, after g3, just pushing that bishop back, you'll play this bishop to e3 only move, and here rook d to e1, just attacking that bishop, and you don't want to move that bishop anywhere. There's not a good square for that bishop, so just e4, attacking white's bishop, and after rook captures, you play this e captures, and after rook captures, this bishop to e6. Now that bishop is finally developed, but you'll get this knight to d4, and that knight is eyeing a lot of weak squares. There are a lot of weaknesses against the black king. I mean, it's going to be an easy game for Tal. But that was the best that Shamkovich had in this position, but instead he chose to go for this bishop to e5. and now all hell breaks loose because Tal displayed this spectacular move. I'm gonna ask you to pause the video because it's such a beautiful idea. So pause the video and try to find this spectacular tactic while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations on everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is actually this beautiful bishop captures on h7. And Tal played this, and you cannot grab that bishop because if you go for this king captures on h7, then you get this very nice rook to d3, and now the mate is unstoppable. There's nothing you can do. Even if you go for this bishop to f4, then you get this rook to h3, and once you block with the bishop, then this queen to h5, and there's nothing that can stop him from queen captures and this getting checkmate. So here Shamkovich, realizing this, plays f5 instead, but now just comes this queen to h4, just defending that bishop, and here just king to g7, just getting out of that pin. There's a lot of nasty discoveries there. So after rook to f3 was played, we have this rook to e8, but now starts the king hunt, and here g4 was played, just opening up the g file as well, getting this rook into the game, and here f4 was played, but just g5. And here king to f8, trying to run away with the king, but here another brilliancy by Tal, just sacrificing the rook with this rook captures on f4, just giving up a whole rook, and the point being that the bishop gets deflected and you get this queen check here, and it's impossible to get out of check and the mate. And here just bishop captures on f4, there's nothing better, and you can just hope that Tal doesn't find the right continuation. But Tal, he doesn't miss, he goes for this queen to h6 check, and after king to e7, just queen to f6 check, and after king to f8 was played, now here just g6, just pushing those pawns forward. And here just last defensive resource, here bishop to h6 was played, but just rook to d8, and now there's too much pressure along this file, and this is even possible. Here queen check is also possible. Here just rook to d8 was played, but now queen to h8 check, king to e7, but just rook captures on f7. Now that king is definitely coming out of a nice king walk, and there's nothing you can do. You have to get that king to d6. So here king to d6, but just queen to d4 check, and here after king to c6, only move, and I'm sure you can all see it, the spectacular queen to c5 checkmate. And this time the checkmate did appear on the board, and Tal got his spectacular victory. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming up with another amazing game from the chess world and spectacular games like this. So definitely do stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you all.